Good evening, this is Deborah Cargill coming to you live from out of Georgia for our study in Job. Tonight we're in Job 2. Again, there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord. And the Lord said unto Satan, From whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down to it. Verse 3, And the Lord said unto Satan, From whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord. Verse 3, And the Lord said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that fears God and sheweth evil, until he holdeth fast his integrity. Although thou movest me against him, to destroy him without cause. Satan had said that Job did not serve God for nothing. And now God uses the same Hebrew word to defend Job, saying he was still blameless, even though Satan moved God against Job without cause. The one thing we must remember in this verse was a statement from the Lord that the attack on Job was without cause. This was not a punishment from God for evil that Job had done. Job stayed faithful to God under the worst of circumstances. Satan had told God that Job would curse him to his face if God took the hedge of protection away. Satan lost the battle. Job did no such thing. He worshiped God even more than before the trouble began. I would say that Job really was a perfect and an upright man in all of his actions. The worst of problems had come, and he stood steadfast in his belief. Verse 4 and 5. And Satan answered the Lord and said, Skin for skin, yea, all that a man hath will he give for his life. But put forth thine hand now, and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face. Verse 6, And the Lord said unto Satan, Behold, he is in thine hand, but save his life. Verse 7, So went Satan forth from the presence of the Lord, and smote Job with sore bulls from the sole of his foot until his crown. Satan probably rushed out to see what damage he could do to Job before he got over the grief of losing his children. It is almost as if he went immediately from the presence of the Lord to afflict Job. This was not just ordinary bulls. This was something much more serious and very painful as well. It appears Satan covered Job from head to toe with him. Verse 8, And he took him a potsherd to scrape himself withal, and he sat down among the ashes. Verse 9, Then he said his wife unto him, Dost thou still retain thine integrity? Curse God and die. Job's wife had not said anything when the other attacks from Satan come, but now she realized this was definitely an attack on Job personally. She suggested that Job to do the very thing that Satan had said he would do. Many times Satan uses our family to make matters worse and not better in this type of circumstance. She was no help at all. Verse 10, But he said unto her, Thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What shall we receive good at the hand of God? And shall we not receive evil? And all this did not Job sin with his lips. Even in this terrible pain and suffering, Job still stayed faithful to God. He not only did not take his wife's advice, but scolded her for saying such a thing. Job, it seems, had great respect for his wife over the other women. He knew this was not her usual actions. She just found it extremely hard to see him suffer like this. He warned her not to be like the foolish woman. Verse 11, now when Job's 3 friends heard of all this evil that was come upon him, they came every one from his own place. Eliphaz the Temanite, Bildad the Shuhite, and Zophar the Naamathite, for they had made an appointment together to come to mourn with him and to comfort him. True friends come to the aid of a friend in need. A good friend will pray with you when there is trouble. A good friend will know the kind of person you are and will not attack you like the rest of the world. These 3 men that came to Job were friends of long standing. It appears they were used to all getting together and helping the other decide what to do about problems. Oh, Jesus, help me. Distance is not a problem with true friends. All of these came from a long way to be with Job. These 3 men were friends of Job because they were wise men. He honored their opinion. They come to comfort him and to mourn with him. Eliphaz means struggle against. Bildad means son of contention. And Zophar means chatterer. It appears these 3 friends came from different lands and met at Job's dwelling. Verse 12. And when they lifted up their eyes afar off and knew him not, they lifted up their voice and wept. And they rent every one his mantle and sprinkled dust upon their heads towards heaven. So they sat down with him upon the ground 7 days and 7 nights, and none spake a word unto him, for they saw that his grief was very great. Sometimes a person grief is so great that it is better not to speak to them. At those times there is comfort in the presence of good friends. The 7 days is questioned by many scholars, but I believe the time to be literal. The friends could have been fed while they sat there. They could have wrapped up in their outer garments and slept there with Job. It is possible that they fasted for this time, but probably they didn't, since it was not mentioned. Give me 1 second. It may be true. Yeah, that concludes Job chapter 2 for tonight. And I'll be back next week for Job chapter 3. God bless you and good evening.